I think technology has taken a lot of place in the education curriculum also.
We feel time is running out.
Yes.
We feel, if I don't get this job and I don't earn this much salary or this role by this, I'm falling behind.
What exactly? How do they benefit the education institutions? Hello friends and welcome to Radio Manav Rachna 107.8 FM. मैं हूँ आरजे भावना और रेडियो मानव रचना 107.8 एफएम पर आज मेरा सौभाग्य है कि आज मेरे साथ स्टूडियो में मिस्टर विवेक अय्यर है. ही इज द मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर फॉर D2L और आज हम ढेर सारी बातें इनसे करने वाले हैं एजुकेशनल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशंस के बारे में और लर्निंग मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम्स के बारे में. लेकिन उससे पहले करेंगे इनका हार्दिक स्वागत रेडियो मानव रचना 107.8 एफएम के स्टूडियो में. हार्टी वेलकम टू यू सर.
थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Sir, if we talk about transformation in education, I think technology has taken a lot of place in the education curriculum also. So, what would you talk about the benefits of transformation of educational systems?
So when you talk about digital transformation in the education systems, I think it's not just desirable now. I think it's almost mandatory.
Yes.
For example, the government is now planning to double something called the gross enrollment ratio (GER) from 27 to 50, which means that what GER means is the number of people from the age group of 18 to 23. How many of them are attending higher education? So right now in India, it's only 27 out of 100. So the government is planning that in 5 years, it should increase to 50, which means the teaching capacity has to double. Now, if you plan to double the number of universities, that's not going to happen.
Yes.
Because you need 1,000 more universities. Even if you open one university per week, it's going to take us 20 years.
Yes.
So the only way to scale your supply of education is by use of technology. And that's where colleges and universities and higher education institutes have to adopt digital technology so that they can augment their teaching capacity and also make the existing faculty more effective in imparting the education.
That's actually so good. I mean, imagine when you were talking about the numbers, I was just wondering that even if we start opening universities, higher educational institutions, it would be very difficult to reach the last student that we really want to. And with India, the largest population, we really need years. But I think technology plays a huge role. Now, we've all heard about learning management system, but I want you to share with our audience how do they benefit the educational institutions?
So you should think of a learning management system as an ally for the faculty. Now, in India, the pupil to teacher ratio is, I think, around 29:1, which is probably one of the highest in the world.
Yes.
Even countries like Brazil, etc., I think it's about 18:1. Even China is lower. So, the job of our faculty is already very challenging. They have to cater to so many students and students from wide variety of backgrounds. They have different learning capabilities, they have different aptitudes, different interests. It's very difficult. So a learning management system makes the job of a faculty easier in that it helps the faculty craft a very personalized learning path for different students. Now, I may have a different path when it comes to learning. I may like to research a bit more on my own. The faculty is now empowered to adopt that kind of an approach for individual students and all with the help of technology. Instead of worrying about really, how do I really treat each student? The LMS system will help you author content which is engaging, devise, learning paths which are very personalized, and also do assessments which are very meaningful.
Now, learning management system seems a cakewalk, It actually feels that things can be done in very, very easy manner. But now let's incorporate technology, and I think most of the educational institutions have started doing it. So when I'm talking about institutions taking up technology, how do they actually benefit and how can they incorporate these technology in their daily learning systems?
So the benefits of any technology, and if in particular if you're talking about a learning management system, it means different benefits for different stakeholders in a teaching university. For faculty, like I explained earlier, it's a ready-made. It's an ally for faculty, which can help them create very engaging content. Like I said, create personalized learning paths and so on and so forth. And what it does to the faculty is now a lot of time is taken out of the mundane tasks that a faculty used to perform earlier. That time is can now be devoted to addressing, for example, queries of students,
Yes.
ensuring that the understanding is better instead of the mundane tasks that I talk about. For example, why should faculty be required to take attendance?
Actually, I was about to say that.
That should all be automated now, and there are
Yes.
now technologies which do facial recognition and just take the attendance, right? Now that precious time of the faculty, which is the most precious
Yes.
resource in an educational institute, is now freed up to do more meaningful and impactful things. For students, let's not forget, you and I have both grown up in a time where education was slightly boring, if I may. Now students are used to Instagram.
Yes.
They are used to Netflix, Uber. We have to take education in a way that is more engaging for them. And the way to do that is by making your content more engaging, making your learner experience more engaging, and that's the benefit for students when it comes to an LMS. For administrators, earlier times when education was very traditional, you never really knew how your course is performing. Is
Yes.
this course meeting the objectives of what I started this institute for? Now with the help of technology, you can make out, how is this course doing? What is the completion rates? Where are students dropping off? Do I need to add more engaging content? Basically analytics which help you fine tune the course and make it better for better learning outcomes.
Actually, so there have been times we've always been researching in education, and the challenge is that research takes a lot of time. But now I think these kind of learning management systems actually help find those analytics, those data, and the research becomes very, very easy. Now, let's talk about the future of technology in educational institutions. Where you say that we need more educational institutions,
Yeah.
do you think technology has a lot of future with educational institutions?
Oh, absolutely. Not only, like you said earlier, how do we make education more accessible for the last person in the last district of the last state, right? Just opening more universities is not going to ensure that. Today, sitting at my home in Mumbai, I can access the brains of the best brains in the world sitting at my home.
Yes.
That is the power of technology, right? So technology is not going anywhere, and I think it has to be adopted. When you talk about the future of technology, obviously we have to talk about artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality. These need to be imbibed into our education system in a very responsible way. For example, students now should not use ChatGPT is available to them, but they should not use ChatGPT as a crutch,
Yes.
as a substitute for learning. ChatGPT is an ally. It can augment your learning. It cannot substitute your learning. So, educational institutes have to imbibe these technologies like AI, VR, AR, extended reality in a responsible way in which we ensure that the learning is not compromised. It is enhanced.
Vivek, you represent D2L,
Yeah.
the desire to learn.
Yeah.
And being the managing director, you've now taken up India as a country which is not only developing, but it is a promising country for education. We've always boasted that we have the best of the minds. Let me know, how does D2L think of bringing more change to the educational transformation?
That's an excellent question. We've been operating realistically in this country for about 3 years, and in these 3 years we've made rapid progress as far as addressing the education needs of the country are concerned. There are close to about 100 institutes which use our Brightspace LMS platform, and we've helped these institutes not only attain their learning outcomes but often exceed them dramatically, and the growth of some of these institutes has been spectacular using our platform. So we are very proud of that. What we are also very mindful of is that while it is a Canadian product, we are a Canadian company, but we are the only LMS platform which is compliant with UGC's 25-point evaluation criteria for LMS systems for online learning. We are the only LMS platform. So we are a global product, but we have a localized offering which caters to the regional demands of this country.
Now that's my another question. I was always wondering that India is a country which is like varied. We have different kind of population and at the same time different strata also. And while we segment ourselves in different regions, how can actually there be more personalized impact? Technology is there, but can we have more individualized concept and curriculum for students?
Absolutely, that is one of the sweet features of our learning platform. When the faculty is designing a particular course, the faculty can set some milestones. For example, if I am teaching something about EV, EV cars, right? Now, I can say that unless the student has scored so much in a particular after a particular chapter, then they should be exposed to the next chapter. If they have scored spectacularly high, that means they're already on an accelerated learning curve. Then maybe you start giving slightly more advanced learning topics, because if somebody is scoring really high and you give very basic things to learn, that also disengages the learner. It bores the bright student. So we have about 50 such parameters on which the faculty can craft a very personalized learning journey. It is also called adaptive curricula. That's very much possible, and this ensures that each student gets a learning experience which is very tailored, which is very personalized, which is very individual to that particular learner.
We've always felt this challenge in classes. There are bright students and they're the ones we call slow learners. And there's always been this problem that the slow learners feel we are not getting enough and the bright ones feel that this is not what we really need to be taught. But I think these kind of systems give away a very good window where all of them are catered in a different manner. There is one thing which is always a concern when education is there, and that is, are we making our students dependent when we are exposing them to technology? Nowadays, when we say technology is important, we also feel that we don't want to make them independent. We've always felt that they should learn and then use the technology, not become dependent. What do you say?
I think that's a very, very valid concern. For example, I would not like my child to use, for example, ChatGPT to get ready-made answers, right? I mean, that is a very classic case of technology substituting learning. That is not the desire and the desired outcome of technology. It should enhance learning, and when we provide a platform, which again, like I said, tailors the learning experience for each student. It amplifies the learning outcomes that a student gets. It doesn't substitute. So the way our technology is built is keeping those aspects in mind. We don't want the learning to be substituted, only enhance more. But I think the onus is on parents, on teachers, on educators to be careful of how technology is being used. I mean, ours is not the only technology which is being used. There are hundreds of other systems which are available, not just LMSs, other kinds of learning platforms. But I think the onus is on all of us, collective onus is on all of us, parents, teachers, to keep an eye out and watch out for these danger signs.
So actually, with the changing technology and so much of advancement, I think students at time get ready to serve things. And I feel that, are they really learning or just CCP, which I say cut, copy, paste? So that's again a challenge. But I think in coming times, we are going to overcome all these challenges. It was wonderful having you here. Before you leave, what message would you want to give out to all those people who are listening to you through Radio Manav Rachna, who are watching you on our YouTube channel and through our Facebook channel?
Well, to the students?
Yes, to everybody.
Learning never stops. Okay, so what I say is, whether it is educators or students, the main skill that they should learn in an institute is the skill of learning.
Yes.
Not just acquiring knowledge, but the skill of learning. That is to be learned. So always be curious. Always question, everything. Be curious, and for the young, impressionable minds, they often feel, and we've all been through that, right? We feel time is running out.
Yes.
we feel, oh, if I don't get this job and I don't earn this much salary or this role by this, I'm falling behind. I think there is a lot of time, there's a lot of life. Everybody has their own individual path, and you'll ultimately reach where you will. And of course, put in the hard yards, be disciplined, and the results will be there.
I would only summarize and say live. This is a life. We're not in a race. And if you live, you'll actually enjoy. And to make your life even more entertaining, you always have Radio Manav Rachna 107.8 FM. RJ Bhavna signs off. Thank you so much for being there. It was a wonderful chat.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
आप कहीं नहीं जाने वाले हैं, आप जुड़े रहने वाले हैं रेडियो मानव रचना 107.8 FM के साथ. Feel good, feel live.